This story has taken a very, very strange and dramatic turn. Apparently, we have just learned police do not know where Brian Laundrie is right now. I'm going to read you the statement that we just got from Brian Laundrie's attorney a few minutes ago. Be advised that the whereabouts of Brian Laundrie are currently unknown. The FBI is currently at the Laundrie residence removing property to assist in locating Brian. As of right now, the FBI is now looking for both Gabby and Brian. So everything we've heard for the last 3 or 4 days from police saying they know exactly where Brian Laundrie is, that apparently, according to the Laundrie family attorney, has now all completely changed. And no one right now apparently knows where Brian Laundrie is, and the FBI is looking for him right now. It's been a very dramatic night here in Northport. We've been watching the house for days. Tonight, the police showed up at the house. The FBI showed up at the house. They went inside the house. They came back out. They got evidence bags. They went back in, and then they also searched a car in the driveway. While we were watching all of this, we weren't sure what was going on. We weren't even sure if Brian Laundrie was inside. But now it's all becoming clearer because of this statement from the family attorney. The FBI is now also looking for Brian Laundrie, Marnie.
And Brian, do we have any idea, have police given you any indication, was he ever at the house?
No, they haven't. And we've been out here for 3 or 4 days. We haven't seen him come or go. Obviously, he could have left in the night, so he may have been here at one point. But we don't know whether he's ever been here. We do know that they were very, very serious in telling us every single day that they knew where he was, and that now that has changed.
Hey guys, I just wanted to do a really quick update. Brian Laundrie, who is the fiancé of missing 22-year-old Gabby Petito that I just recently did a video on, well, his lawyer says Brian is also now missing. His parents claim to have not seen him since Tuesday morning, September 14th. So now the FBI is trying to find both Brian and Gabby because, of course, Gabby is still missing. Police had visited the home previously, but the Laundrie family, Brian and his parents, have refused to talk and instead gave authorities the name and number of their attorney when police were, coming to the door. But police were called to Brian's parents' home this evening, which, what is today? Today's Friday. So Brian's parents called the cops there, I'm assuming, to report Brian missing. But they sure didn't report Gabby missing when their son came home without her, did they? Anyway, this happened to be the same day as the protest, so there were plenty of people there in the yard, on the road. They were holding signs and shouting, and everyone thought Brian was in the house. I mean, I certainly thought he was when I was watching, but he apparently was not. So I wonder, why did his parents wait 3 full days to report him missing? Were they giving him time to get away? Was he gone long before Tuesday? From what I understand, police haven't seen him at all in the home or outside of it. They haven't actually laid their eyes upon him, but they kept on saying, the police kept saying that they knew where he was. So, I mean, apparently they did not know where he was. Brian's lawyer says they took items from the home to assist in the search for him, so that's why we saw law enforcement carrying in the brown evidence bags. If you hear sound in the background, I apologize. My cats are running. My 2 cats are running all over the place. But anyway, I'm wondering how Brian got away. Now, I'm not dogging the police or anything, but did they not have someone watching his house to make sure he didn't take off? He was named a person of interest, so I don't know. Wouldn't he be considered a flight risk or no? Maybe since he hasn't been charged with anything and there's no evidence of a crime being committed, I guess he can leave if he wants to, but I figured they'd be keeping an eye out on him at least. Plus, law enforcement has been saying all week they know where he is. So how did he leave? This is just so messed up. I know some people have been claiming that they think, and it's rumor, I'm sure, and I don't spread rumors, but I wanted to mention this. But people have been claiming they think Gabby's disappearance could be a publicity stunt of some sort for their social media platforms. And I'll be honest, before the body cam footage came out where Brian and Gabby had gotten into the altercation, I briefly entertained the theory of it being, a hoax myself, very briefly. Now not so much. But I really hope Brian didn't leave to go harm himself, because he's the one that holds the information that could help find Gabby. And she needs to be found. Her family needs to know what happened. If he didn't do anything to her, and he is innocent, why won't he talk? Why has he now disappeared too? And I can't imagine he is in a good place mentally. Now, authorities were looking for a connection between Gabby's disappearance and the still unsolved murder of two women, 24-year-old Kylen Schultz and 38-year-old Crystal Turner. Kylen and Crystal were last seen leaving Woody's Tavern in Moab on August 13th around 9 or 9:30. And Kylen had texted friends saying that there was a creepy and intimidating guy lurking around the campsite they were staying at. And the couple was found partially undressed and fatally shot with multiple bullet wounds at a campsite on August the 18th. This campsite was near Moab, Utah, in the South Mesa area of the La Salle Mountains. Like I said, their murder is still unsolved and just absolutely horrific. And Brian and Gabby passed through Moab around the same time that Kylen and Crystal disappeared, but today, the Grand County Sheriff in Utah said they released a news briefing that they have determined the two cases are not related, but he didn't say what brought them to that conclusion. Brian and Gabby were in a domestic altercation at the Moonflower Community Cooperative on August 12th. Police responded to a fight between them. Witnesses had told police that Gabby slapped Brian during the argument and that Brian had grabbed Gabby's face and kind of pushed her away. Now, police did separate the two for the night, but no charges ended up being filed on either one of them. The link to that body cam footage in its entirety is posted in my community tab if you haven't watched it already and want to. There is a woman named Miranda Baker that posted to her TikTok that she and her boyfriend picked up Brian Laundrie.
Hi, my name is Miranda Baker, and on August 29th, my boyfriend and I picked up Brian at Grand Teton National Park at 5:30 at night at Coulter Bay. I'm hoping this can help someone identify him because I saw him from TikTok, which then made me call the authorities, and my boyfriend and I have been in contact with a bunch of different people to help piece together different parts of this case, but we picked him up at Coulter Bay, like I said, at 5:30. He approached us asking us for a ride because he needed to go to Jackson, which we were going to Jackson that night. So I said, hop in. He hopped in the back of my Jeep. We then, proceeded to make small talk, but before he came in the car, he offered to pay us like $200 to give him a ride, like 10 miles. So that was kind of weird. He then told us he's been camping for multiple days without his fiancé. He did say he had a fiancé, and that she was working on their social media page back at their van. Then once, in conversation, I brought up, we're going to Jackson. He freaked out. He's like, nope, I need to get out right now. Pull over. So we pulled over at the Jackson Dam, which I don't know if you know Teton Park, but it's not very far from Coulter Bay. And if this does reach people, I can post pictures of exactly where we were. We picked him up and the whole route or whatever, and screenshots of the timestamps. We dropped him off at 6:09 p.m. on August 29th. He kind of hurried out of the car, and then he's like, okay, I'm just gonna go find someone else to hitchhike. And we're like, okay. It was a weird situation. So when we picked him up, he was wearing a backpack, he had a long sleeve pants, hiking boots, and he had scruff, but he didn't look dirty. For someone who was camping for multiple days, he didn't look dirty, he didn't smell dirty, so that part was kind of weird. And I'm just really hoping that they find her, and this helps someone remember seeing him, or something like that.
Now, as most of you know, Brian and Gabby left on their road trip in July from New York in their converted van, and it was The road trip was supposed to last until October, but Brian showed up back at his home by himself with Gabby's van on September 1st. I think in my previous video I said it was August 30th, but it was September 1st. Now, Brian got a lawyer before police even knew Gabby was missing. Her parents reported her missing on September 11th, and Brian and his parents have refused to speak to police. So now Brian is missing too, and cops, along with the FBI, are on the search for him and still looking for Gabby. I mean, what a mess. The whole thing is just a terrible, terrible situation. Let me know what you all think in the comments. This is all just so sad and so confusing, and I'm still hoping for a miracle and that Gabby will be found safe. I mean, wouldn't it be wonderful if they were both found together? They'd have some explaining to do, but at least they'd both be alive and safe. Anyone with information on Gabby and or now Brian's whereabouts can contact 1-800-CALL-FBI. Also, any information on Kylen and Crystal's murders, because like I said, it is still unsolved, but any information on that should be reported as well. You can call 435-259-8115 to report any information you may have on them. That's all for now, guys. I have got to get my butt to bed. I just kind of wanted to get a quick update out. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to, and all that good stuff. Good night.